Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a 2024 release in steel from Bell Ross. This is the BRX5 Iridescent. This was a boutique and e-boutique edition for the Parisian-based but Swiss manufacturing brand owned by Chanel. Bell Ross is a design house more than anything else. And a little bit like Breitling or Hublot, it's one of those companies where I can't say that I follow the brand avidly as a whole, but every once in a while there is one model that just grips me and holds me, and this is that watch from Bell Ross. As you can see, an iridescent dial made up of multiple layers of ultrafine PVD, creating a huge spectrum of colors. It is a wonderfully versatile timepiece, 41 millimeters in diameter by 12.8 millimeters thick, and with angled lugs, lug-to-lug, 49.6 millimeters. It's also a very solid and substantial watch, and we'll throw this right on my scale here, and you can see pretty easily there's a lot to it there. 181.43 grams if you subtract the tag. So that's a weighty watch for something that's not huge and not precious metal. On the wrist, you can see the angled lugs, a little bit like on the Hublot Big Bang. They help to fit this watch to my 16 centimeter circumference wrist better than if the lugs themselves were straight and it were a broncard or a board across the wrist. In fact, I think you could wear this watch on a wrist my size or larger, maybe even a little bit smaller, as there does seem to be some clearance between lug and the edge of my wrist. So let's say 15 centimeters circumference and larger. Taking a look at the side, okay, it looks thicker than it is, but in reality, it's under 13 millimeters, so it should slide underneath most dress cuffs. The watch can also be fit to a strap. Bell Ross has those straps optional, so if you want to change the look a little bit, you can do so. Of course, we're well into the era when everyone has an integrated bracelet sports watch, but what's important here is that the quality of the hardware is as good as anything in the business. Now, the finish is not exotic. As you can see, we don't have any beveling, we don't have any elaborate detail decoration, but we have satin, we have polish, and we have a very solid feeling bracelet that frankly feels more expensive than the price of the watch. Taking a look underneath, you can see that the bracelet is fixed to the case using screws and bars, and that the same is true of the bracelet being fixed to the clasp. So screws and bars are more secure than spring bars. This is a very solid attachment. We have many individual removable links, and you can see they're fixed by screws, so those are always welcome, as screws generally are associated with higher quality bracelets when we have removable links. And you can see here we have a slight intermediate sizing to this end link on each side in case you find yourself in between sizes with the primary links. A generic interior clasp, but this is actually a very solid generic part, bought off the shelf, but then customized with a Bell Ross logo. And so it actually looks pretty cool when it's closed. And when it's open, you realize this is thick gauge steel. It feels as robust as you would expect a clasp on a sports watch to be. Here we have polish, satination, and media blast with the Bell Ross ampersand. Bruno Bellamick and Carlos Rozio. It's the Bell and the Ross. They're still involved with the company today. So screw down crown here, 100-meter water resistance. You can see we've got sort of a tiered construction with case hollows in profile and both brushed satin and polished steel. The dial is truly engaging. We'll do a lume shot real quick so you can see the lume shot, and also take note that in the dark, the power reserve scale is also luminescent, or at least the hand is. The watch features a dial that is iridescent, and while the base color is, roughly speaking, blue, once you start turning it, you realize you get everything on the spectrum from blue to yellow, and then all in between. It is a real chameleon. It's a little bit like the old Mistachrome paint. If you remember Mistachrome and Chrome Illusion paint on cars in the 90s, especially the Ford Mustang Cobra, then you know exactly what this effect is like. From different angles, it becomes a completely different color. We have lots of handsome applique on the dial. You can see the indices, the frame for the date. We have the power reserve indicator right there with a concentric pattern or azurage inboard. We have a scale outboard against which you can read minutes and seconds. demonstrate some of the subsidiary setting modes here. We'll pull the crown out, activate hacking seconds. It's a Tudor Kinesi movement here, doing business as Bell & Ross caliber BR-Cal323. The one major difference here, of course, being that this doesn't have Tudor's silicone hairspring, but also Tudor doesn't have this watch's power reserve indicator. So 70 to 72 hour power reserve, 4 Hz beat rate, 28 joule movement, automatic winding, COSC chronometer certified and 5-position adjusted. You've got the hacking function, so you can stop the seconds hand, set it to a reference time, and then you've got a quick set system, so you can rapidly cycle the date. And because it is a triple aperture, even if the minute hand is covering the current date, you can see the preceding and succeeding date and still discern what the date is. That's why these triple dates are often used. If you have any concern about the date being obscured, we'll turn the watch over. You can see the Tudor movement made by Tudor Kinesi, which is Tudor's movement factory. It's not aesthetically glorious. It is a workman-like movement, but one that has very pleasing and upscale features: a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for precision of adjustment and shock resistance, the 3-day power reserve. You could see here that it features a nice size for a large watch, and with hacking and a quick set, it's got the modern standards you expect: a 4 Hz beat rate, which is, again, standard on a modern watch and expected. You can see it has a combination of polish and satin that gives it a workman-like appearance. I wouldn't describe it as extraordinarily beautiful, but it's also technically quite competent and a great step up over conventional ETA and Sellita and Concepto alternatives. So there is a lot to love here, between a techie movement that gives this the spec of an upscale watch, an aesthetic that's probably going to age well, better fit than you'd think, and a really smart, unusual dial treatment by a brand that's proven its staying power. This is a watch that I could really get into. So if you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.